Welcome to Coffee and Conversation with Carol. Yes, I know people are looking at their clocks and may have been saying it is 8 o'clock, but it's okay. It is okay. It is okay. Um, I don't own rights to the music in the background. I am live on TikTok as well. Um, so I'm just gonna see how much interaction I can get there. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I don't own rights to the music, but it is one of my songs that I'm hip to right now. God only knows, because baby, in this life, God only knows, right? Look here, God only knows what they say. He ain't look here. This whoever made this song, which I think it was, I can't really think of the man who made it, but the word speak truth. Speaks truth. It really does speak truth. How is everybody doing today? Um, I didn't get on yesterday. I told you guys I got some things going on, and so I'm trying to balance my schedule out here right now. But I hope everybody's doing okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna be on live for a minute. I'm be on live for a minute. So here's the thing. We got 4 weeks left in a year, right? And so since I started this thing back in May, all right. So back in May, I decided to start going live and to develop a live podcast called Welcome to Coffee and Conversations with Carol, so we can engage and communicate on different subject matters, different topics and questions. And here's the thing. We're going into this new year, and you only have 4 weeks left. And a lot of times one of the things that people do is make New Year's resolutions, right? They say, this year I'm gonna give up this, I'm gonna give up that, I'm gonna not do this, I'm not gonna do that. They have all these things that they're saying they're not going to do, or that they're going to change about themselves. But where do the change really start? Like, where does the change really start? Where does it really start? Where does it start at? Does it start with you just saying it, or does it start in you writing it down? Where does the change really starts at? Well, let me tell you something. Alexa, turn music off. So that's one of my little daily meditation songs. I have a lot of them, but that's one of them too, because again, only God knows, seriously, with some people around this world today. Only He knows their actions, why they do what they do. However, I believe change starts in the heart of your mind. I believe that change starts in the heart of your mind. That if you change the way, um, if you change the way you think, if you change the way you are, your thought processes, I believe that that is where the change begins. Because here's the thing: if you every day have a situation, let's just say you're having a situation at work. Okay, let's just say you're having a situation at work, and you're having this situation at work, and you need to resolve it. Well, you may say, well, if I do X, Y, and Z, I can resolve the situation. But I believe that the situation is more so resolved through the thought processes, your thinking, your mindset. If you are a person who says, that's not going to happen for me, it's never going to happen for me, it happens for everybody else, but it's not going to happen for me, then you are the type of person that has to change the way you think. You have to start saying things are going to happen for you. You have to start saying, guess what? I'm okay. I can do this. You got to change your mindset. And I believe that is where people will start to grow. People will start to evolve. Is when they change the way that they think. There are certain behaviors as we go into this new year that we need to let go. We need to let go of some of these behaviors. I know people joke around a lot and kid a lot, say we make New Year's resolutions and we put them by the wayside. But no, we really need to. Some of us really have behaviors that we have to let go of. They need to say bye-bye. They need to say bye-bye. And the only way we can get rid of those behaviors, is by changing our process and our thought process. Okay. All right. So if you're joining me live, share my live feed. This is Coffee and Conversations with Carol. So one of the things we have to do is let go behavior. Okay. We have a lot of behaviors that are on display. I remember this weekend we had a all black event here in the city, and there was a fight that broke out at the end. And then the person that was in the fight decided to go live and explain the fight. And it appeared, and I believe, now I ain't part of it, but I believe that it was a baby mama drama. And here's my thing with that. We as baby mamas, ex-wives, as the ex-girlfriend, as the, if you're in that category, some of us, not all of us, all right, not all of us, but some of us, we have to learn how not to be bitter, but better. We have to be better, not bitter. If you was with somebody and he decided to move on, if he decided to step out and move on, whatever the case may be, and it is over with, then you got to accept that. And you have to start with the mind processing that it's over. You and him are no longer a thing. You and him are no longer together. And if a child is involved, okay, I'm talking to the women, all right? Talking to the women. If you in that category of ex-wife or just the baby mama, you're no longer with the mate anymore. We have to learn how to let it go. We have to stop the nonsense of all the he with her so he can't see the baby, or he with her, he need to pay his child support. We got to stop that. We got to stop it. We got to stop it, and we got to stop it now. Look here. We're going into this new year. We're talking about behaviors, and one of the behaviors we got to let go is the bitter behavior. Not only the bitter behavior, but the bitter activity that comes with it. Because let me tell y'all something. Nobody is going to suffer more than the child. You may think you're doing your child a service by acting that way, but you are not. You are not. You are not doing your child a service by acting that way. You have to let that go. That behavior go. The bitterness has to go. Okay? Thought process. Think. We have to think. Okay? We have to think. We have to change our mindset. Okay? We have to change our mindset. Not only do we have to let go of that type of behavior, we have to let go of some of the things that we feel are needed in our lives. A lot of us out here, we partying, baby. We partying. Okay. One of my sister always say, look here, what do we celebrate? I mean, you got folks out here partying every day. Party. And what are we partying for? What are we celebrating? What are we, normally parties were beneficial to celebrations, weddings, anniversaries, baby showers, graduations, promotions, but a lot, folks just be out here partying. And I ain't saying don't live your life to the fullest. I'm not saying not enjoy your life. But what I'm saying is we got to understand why we're doing what we're doing. We got to understand the why of why we're doing what we're doing. We need to understand the why of why we think in the way we think. We need to understand the why of why we act in the way we react. Okay? And when we start understanding that and knowing the why, then in changing our thought process, then some of this behavior and some of these activities that we are participating in can change. Because there's no reason why. You getting up every day You got people getting up every day, going live, talking about other people, tagging other people. You got people every day that's just utterly mad for no reason at all. Just wake up mad. Just upset with the world. And then you want to go and you want to I don't know what word I want to use, invoke that on other people. You want to go out and put that on to other people. All right. And that's not always a good thing. You want to go out and put that on other people. Other people don't need that. Other people don't need that in their lives. People are doing bad enough without having to take on somebody else's bitterness, that bitter behavior, those bitter activities, because you're bitter and you're mad about something that didn't go your way. It's like a child throwing a tantrum. When they don't get their way, what does a child do? They get pucker face, they get sad, they don't want to really talk. They don't want to do any of that because they're not getting their way. And us as adults, some of us have that same mentality and that same behavior. We have the same mentality and the same behavior. So we have to combat that, okay? So we have to change our thought process. We have to change the way we're thinking, all right? We have to change the way we're acting, and we have to change the way we're moving about throughout the world in our daily activities. And I believe it all starts in the mind. It all starts in the mind, how we change how we do things, you see, because when you get into that thought process of I'm nothing, nobody cares, nobody cares about me, nobody this and that, then you know what happens? What happens is then you start delving into things that you should not dive into. You start encountering different I would say addictions, and you'll start down that line. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. And then next thing you know, now it has snowballed into a full-blown whatever addiction it is, because people are addicted to a lot of things out here these days. And those don't help. But you have to start with your thought process. You have to start with your thought process. And when you start with your thought process, you have to start thinking more positive. You have to feed into yourself. You sometimes have to encourage yourself. You have to encourage yourself, love on yourself, know that you are needed, know that you are wanted. You have to know these things. And the more you say them to yourself, the more they'll start becoming more believable to you. You have to do that for yourself, okay? I can't stress it enough that some of these behaviors that we are participating in has to stop. If you right now, today is December 3rd, so we're going into the new year. So with that being said, as we go into the new year, you should be reflecting. December should be a reflection month. It should be a reflection month. Look at the whole year. And if you haven't wrote down what you do for, if you haven't wrote down think about all the things you've done. Write them all down. And then you should set your goals for 2025. And you should say, you know what? I didn't meet this goal in 2024, but I'm going to meet it in 2025. How am I going to do that? Changing my thought process. By changing my thought process, thinking different, moving differently, I can accomplish these goals that I have set. Okay? That's how you do that. That is how you move and groove in 2025. So this month should be set aside to start reflecting on where have you come from, in this year. Because we all have growing to do. I have growing to do. And you do too. We all have growing to do, right? And so because we all have growing to do, we have to start with our thought processes. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Thank you and welcome. Thank you for joining Coffee and Conversation with Kara, where we're talking about behaviors to let go, and we're letting them go. Okay. You only have a few more weeks to keep those behaviors that's not doing us any good. All right. And it starts with our thought process. All right. We have to put on those. You remember back in school where they say, put on your thinking caps. We have to put on these caps, and we have to start processing things differently. Okay. Not only are we going to process differently, we have to know our why. Why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you acting the way you act? Why are you talking the way you talk? Okay. You have to know your why. I think that is important. to know why you're doing what you're doing. But it all begins with our thought process. All right. It begins with our thought process. We have to get that process going now. And if you start now, some of the behaviors that we need to let go, you will see they will start kind of inching back. So by the time in 4 weeks we get to the new year, those behaviors can become part of our past. But we have to start now. We have to start changing the way we think right now. Probably about maybe 6 years ago, I just was not doing good with some foods. Me and my body was not getting along. So guess what I did? I started slowly taking the food out of my diet. So now I want to say it's been about 6 years. It could be, yeah, I think it's 6 years. I have not eaten not a piece of beef or a piece of pork. Not one piece of beef or pork. I have not eaten any of it. Okay. I haven't eaten any beef and I haven't eaten any pork. I do eat chicken. I eat seafood, some turkey, and sometimes no meat at all. Sometimes I don't even eat any meat. Sometimes I don't even need it. But how did I do that? I started with a thought process first because I knew it wasn't helping me at all. It wasn't helping me at all. Let me see if I can get my cousin on here. I'm trying to invite her in, so let me see. I don't know if I got her on there or not, but I'm trying to see if I got her on there. I don't know if she wanted to come in, but I invited her in anyway. That's Miss Good News, my cousin. I don't know if she's on there, but I invited her on, so I don't know if she'll come on or not. But good morning, Instagram. Good morning, T. Good morning, Lily. Good morning, Miss Good News. How are you? I can't even hear you. I don't know why I can't hear you.
Hold on, let me see.
Oh, I can hear you now. I can hear you.
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you. Good morning.
I got my hair in a ponytail, y'all. I got hair.
You got hair? That is beautiful. This morning I'm talking about letting go behaviors. We're gonna let go the behaviors going into the new year, cause Hunty. We gonna let it go. We gotta let these behaviors go. We have to know the why of why we doing this. And it all, where it all starts? In our mind. It is a thought process that starts in our mind. Changing who we becoming starts in your mind. And if you can get this thought process going correctly, you're gonna be okay. We got to stop thinking certain things. We got to stop acting certain ways. We have to let go of this bitterness. There's a lot of us out here bitter. We have to be better, but we have to be better, not bitter. Okay. We have to learn how to operate in good spaces. We are in too many spaces that we are not operating in correctly. That's the problem. That's a problem. So this morning I'm speaking to the world. I think I'm on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I'm just letting folks know, look here, we're going to change this behavior for 2025. We need to start with our thought processes.
Listen, y'all need to be listening to Carol, because you know what I'm saying? She's speaking everything. She look good, but she gonna give you that knowledge. She's speaking that good stuff. Because I gotta go live.
Go live.
But I love you, cousin. You look so good. Yes, we're gonna let go of some stuff, baby. Y'all better let go of some of these men.
Baby.
Some of these women go.
Baby.
We ain't got time for that today. I just ain't got time to waste no more time. You know what I'm saying? I just don't have time.
We're gonna have to use that.
You want to talk about? No, I ain't got time to talk about what you're talking about. I just don't even care. I don't have time to care.
We don't have time to care. That's it. 2025, we don't have time.
Yeah, that's it. I love you. I love y'all.
Love you too. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was my cousin, Miss Good News, all the way out of North Carolina, baby. She said we don't have time to waste time. We got to let go of some of these men, and we got to let go of some of these women. Look here. I have said it, and I've said it before. You got some folks on both sides that's just bitter. And if you're going to be bitter, you can't be better. All right? And if you're going to be better, then there is no bitter. You see what I'm saying? So we have to learn that this thought process thing is a real thing. You have to put in your mind that you know what? You say to me, Carol, guess what, Carol? I am going to be intentionally and authentically genuine toward those who might not even be genuine towards you. You know why? Because a lot of folks don't know love out here. That's the problem. They don't know love out here. They don't love themselves. They ain't loving nobody. And so because they don't, they go around and they mistreat whoever they think they can mistreat. They go around and talk crazy to whoever they want to talk crazy to. That's what be going on. That's what be going. But you know what? I read something the other day. And it says a person's success in life can usually be measured by the number of uncomfortable conversations he or she is willing to have. You look here. We got to have those conversations that make you uncomfortable. And this is one of them. Your thought process, because people are thinking the wrong way. You got to remember, here's the thing. If you're a parent, if you have children, you are definitely setting an example. Okay? You are definitely setting an example. If you are a friend, a parent, you are definitely setting an example. You're setting an example, and you have to teach the young people how to act. You know what I'm saying? You can't all this. I seen a situation this weekend. Everybody want to fight. Who's doing that these days? First of all, why are we doing it? What are we fighting for? What is the fight about? Is it even a valid reason of why we are physically fighting? Physically. Why are we physically fighting? Is there a reason for us to be physically fighting? Why are we out here doing this? Why? You know what? People don't even have a real reason why. They have not a real reason why. If you end up in a physical, people don't even know a real reason why. You know why people physically fight? Because they lack communication skills. People physically fight because they lack communication skills. And when you can't communicate, that's all you know how to do is use combat. And then you stand out here and you physically fighting because you don't know how to talk. That's all it is. People don't have communication skills. And so they end up fighting each other because they don't have communication skills. Let's be proactive and say, hey, going into 2025, guess what we're going to do? We're going to learn some communication skills. We're going to learn how to communicate amongst each other. Not only are we going to learn to communicate amongst each other, we're going to learn how to effectively agree to disagree. Because you're not going to agree with everybody, right? Everybody's not going to have your same opinion. That's why the world is made up of so many different people. If the world was, let's think about yourself for a minute. And I know some of us is selfish and some of us is egotistical and some of us is prideful. But I mean, really, when you think about it, if the world was only made up of all of just yourself, what kind of world would this be? Now, here's the thing. I can talk. I can speak. I'm very good at that. However, I like talking with different people. I like engaging in different cultures. That's what I like to do. So I can't have it all just made up of me because then I ain't gonna have no different people to talk to. Everybody has a situation. Everybody has something that's going on with themselves that guess what? You have to communicate. All right. So going into 2025, we letting go behaviors. We letting go bitterness. We letting go of a lot of stuff that we don't need. And it's personal. Good morning. Hey, Mike. It is personal. Okay. You have to go into yourself and say, what is it that I don't need for 2025? What did 2024 teach me about this here? And then you learn that lesson. Because remember, I told you guys long time ago, we do not take losses around here. All right. I want everybody to know when people come to, I took an L. The only L I took was a lesson learned. All right. It ain't a loss. Nowhere. Nowhere on my record. You know how when you watch football and basketball go a W column and an L column? Well, in those games, they consider those losses. I don't. I don't consider no L's in my life a loss. I consider a lesson and a learned. All right. That's the L's I go with. Lesson learned. I don't take no losses over here. All right. It's only lessons learned. We have to consider what lessons have we learned in 2024 in order to keep growing and evolving in 2025. All right. Also, we have to know what we have to be proactive. Start with that thought process and start letting go some things we do not need. There's no need to carry around all of this madness. We have to let some of this madness go. We have to stop reliving things that didn't happen in the past. We have to stop. Listen to me real carefully now. We have to stop listening with our trauma and trigger ears and start listening with a more healed heart, okay? Because when you listen with them trauma and trigger ears, you are not listening correctly. You are still stuck in a space where that traumatic and traumatizing situation happened. You gotta come out of that. You gotta come out of that. And if you need help to come out of that, you go get you some help wherever you can find it. You can call a therapist, ask your doctor, can you be referred to someone to talk to, those type of things. But what I'm saying to you, and I'm not saying people don't have real things they go through, because they do, where they need more professional help to work through it. What I'm saying is, for example, me and you had a disagreement, or me and my sister, we got mad at each other, or me and my brother don't talk to each other. That little stuff like that. If it because over a card game, or he put too much sugar in the yams, and I'm talking about frivolous stuff. Don't miss out on life because of frivolous things. Don't miss out on life because of things that you could have got it correctly. Have that hard conversation. If you feel like I've hurt your feelings, if you feel like I've said something or did something to really cause you to withdraw and cut off, have that hard conversation. Say, I don't want to be like this, but this is how I felt when you did X, Y, and Z. Have that hard conversation so that you don't be stuck in that space, because people miss out on things. Loved ones are dying, and then you'll be the one that come and say, I wish I could have made this right. You could make it right. You got to have that hard conversation. And we got to start looking at ourselves too. Okay. We got to start looking at ourselves. Good morning, Pooh. We got to start looking at ourselves, and we got to say to ourselves, guess what? Sometimes I'm not always correct. Sometimes I'm not always right, and it's okay. Trust and believe when I tell you, it is okay if you're not always right all the time. It's okay if you said something that you think may have offended or hurt somebody else. That is okay. It's okay that you did that. And you said sorry. That's it. You say sorry. And what is sorry? Sorry is just not saying it. It's an action to show that you really want to change that. If you're a type of person that's always got something slick to say, or offending people when you say it, and you say you're sorry, then let's talk about how you can change how you respond. Be proactive. How can I change how I respond to people? Because I don't want people to always think that I just got a slick mouth, if that's the case. Everybody's different. Everybody's different. But going into the new year, we're going to be letting go behaviors. Okay. We got to let some of these behaviors go. Some of these behaviors we've been carrying for years. Some of them we didn't have since we was teenagers. Some of us didn't have them since the bad breakup with, whoever, we didn't carry that around. Now we going around and blaming everybody else for it. You can, you had a bad breakup. Don't blame everybody else for the bad breakup. What they do, don't carry that around. You had an argument with your mama or your daddy, and now everybody gotta get. No, that's not how that works. You and your sibling, not everybody. That's not how that works. And you can tell yourself, this is just me. This is just how I am. No, it's not. It's not how you are. You're carrying around something that you need to let go. You've carried it long enough. So let it go. Let it go. Let it go. And let it go. All right? And you don't need to carry it around anymore. All right? Um, I just want to let you guys know that today's affirmation, and I'm live on TikTok right now. I'm live on Instagram, and I'm going live. I am live on YouTube. I'm about to end my TikTok live so that I can go now to my Facebook live. But we are going to be talking about letting go of things in 2024 that we don't need to carry into 2025. Okay. Our affirmation today is strive for progress, not perfection. All right. Strive for progress, not perfection. Because here's the thing, ain't none of us perfect. Ain't none. Newsflash. I don't know if you knew it or not, but none of us is perfect. Okay. None of us is perfect. So we have to strive for progress and not perfection. Just strive to improve, to move forward. And that's what I'm talking to you about today. Behavior to let go. Let it go. We got 4 weeks. 4. We're already on December 3rd, so I'm just going to give it a full. We got 4 weeks before 2025. And we got to start letting go of some of these behaviors, people. And we got to strive for progress, not perfection. All right. Thank you for joining Coffee and Conversations with Carol this morning, where I come to you live with thought processing questions where we can engage and communicate. I thank Miss Good News, my cousin all the way from North Carolina, for joining me on TikTok Live this morning. I brought her in and she joined me, and I appreciate her on today. I want you guys to remember to live, love, never ever stop laughing, and always find room to forgive, because again, none of us is perfect. All right. And then we got to let go of some of that behavior. All right. Be better, not bitter, baby. Be better, not bitter. And remember, love on somebody. Love on somebody. Thank you guys for joining me on today. I love you all. I want you guys to have a beautiful, beautiful day. See you tomorrow.